Hello YouTube, Chrome Freak here. Went shooting yesterday, had a blast. Went with 7.62 Fanatic 2. Go over and check out his channel. And we went shooting, we just had a really good time. I had a couple of issues. I left the shotgun, the 590, it's put away right now, it's cleaned, I'm not going to get that back out, or the AK. No issues with either of them, flawless. The Ruger pistol. Perfect. GP 100, flawless. 1911, flawless. Believe it or not, I had a little problem with the G27, the Marlin 60, and the new M1 Carbine. We'll start with the Glock and get that out of the way because there's really nothing wrong with the Glock per se. The pistol was perfect. The problem was the magazine. As you can see, I got a little tape on this magazine right here. Last time I took it out shooting, it was only one round. It was almost like a slow motion type of thing. Check for safety, safe direction, pull the trigger. When it came back, it almost wanted to not feed around, but then it went in, and I noticed that. But then it didn't do it again, so I said, oh, well, maybe a fluke type thing. Well, it wasn't a fluke type thing. This is a bad magazine. I started having the issue. I was shooting yesterday. This magazine was flawless. I triple checked. Shooting slowly, shooting as quick as I could shoot. And this magazine every time was the cause of the issue. I'm going to call Glock and see if they'll replace this magazine. If not, I'm just going to chuck it in the garbage can and we'll get another one. I'm not going to play with changing the springs or the follower or nothing like that in it. Once I get a magazine that I don't trust, I really don't want that magazine. So the pistol I trust, the pistol was perfect. It shot sweet as ever, accurate as ever. It's a great little pistol. I love it. Got no issues with it except for the magazine. So that's that. It's a magazine issue. Now the Marlin 60, guys. All that time I sat there and I waited for parts. I ordered parts. They said the Postal Service lost the parts. Resent the parts. It took a lot longer than I thought it would take. This time they blamed it on back-ordered parts. Then when I received the parts, I ordered two parts. I ordered a feed throat and an ejector lifter spring. They send me a hammer spring. I don't put the hammer spring in the rifle because I don't need it. I fixed the feed throat right off the bat. The ejector lifter spring, just like I thought, it's got that little bend in it. It is not doing its job. I need to replace that. I'll have to call Marlin, God forbid, again, probably tomorrow I'll call them, and order the ejector lifter spring, which I already paid for, but received a hammer spring. Let's see what they say and how long it's going to take. I don't want to promise anything, but when it does come in, we'll get that on video and get it up. Now the M1 Carbine. It's a 70-year-old rifle, guys, pretty much. And it shot awesome when it shot. 7.62 Fanatic was shooting a lot of bump fire with the carbine, which was really neat. I can't bump fire worth the crap. However, he can. It was really neat. But we did experience some problems. At one point, I'm going to try to get up some of that shooting video tomorrow. I don't want to promise because I got a lot of things planned tomorrow. But by Sunday, I'm going to have quite a few more videos up. And I'm going to try to get some of them shooting videos up. And I'm going to try some of my editing skills. God almighty, help us all. Anyway, the problem with this rifle, I'm afraid, is going to be mainly a magazine issue also. Not only is the gun 70 years old, give or take a couple, but so is the magazines. Now, these are M2 magazines, the 30 rounders. This is an original right here. This spring in the follow right here, I mean literally no effort at all. That spring is so weak, it needs to be replaced. This is different than, like I said, I was going to chuck this magazine in the garbage. This is a firearm I'll be carrying to protect my life with. This one is a collector's piece that sits in the safe and I shoot now and then. More then than now, actually. I'm not going to shoot this very much at all. So I will. I'll fix these. I'll change the springs in them, the followers. They're cheap enough. This magazine here, these are the two I took shooting with me. I didn't even think about this or dawn on me to check these before I went shooting. This one here I left at home. And the reason I left this one at home, it's got a little bit of rust on it. And I plan on getting it out, fixing it up, you know, taking the rust out, getting the Dremel and fixing it. So I didn't even bring this with me. But I gotta tell you, once I got home and trying to, diagnose what happened here with the carbine, this follower and spring on this one is very hard to push down. This spring in here has either already been replaced or this was a very little used magazine. And I mean to tell you, that's got some strength to it. Both of these magazines that I did take shooting, like I said, very weak. Both of them. I mean, very little spring tension, very little. So that was part of the issue. And also, 70-year-old gun, I'll say it once again. I already plan on doing a video where, and I promised you guys this for this weekend, is take the bolt in and take the bolt down. The extractor spring, the extractor on the bolt is very weak also. So I was having an issue with the extraction. It wasn't double feeding. We were having a problem extracting, and then you throw that problem mixed in with a weak magazine and you had a couple issues. Now, I don't want to give the wrong impression. This gun shot awesome, and for the most part, we didn't have very many issues with it at all. I think it messed up on me twice, and on 7.62 Fanatic, it messed up on him a couple, 2 or 3 times, but once again, he was bump firing. And I gotta tell you, it is cool to see somebody who can bump fire really good, bump fire in an M1 Carbine. And I got some video on that, and I'll post it. And it's just really neat to see this thing open up into almost a full auto. You know, it's really cool to watch. Anyway, that's another thing that we're gonna do on video. I'll replace the extractor spring on the bolt and the extractor, and we're going to take the trigger group down anyway. There's no problem with the trigger group. There's no problem with anything else. This rifle, like I said, 70 years old. And when you get a rifle that's that old, and probably hasn't been shot that much, or was shot quite a bit early in its age and has been sitting for more or less for the last 40, 50 years doing not a whole lot, we have problems and very weak magazine springs. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to touch up on yesterday and end this video. I don't want to make a long one here. Very good day, great day, and just only a couple little problems, but nothing major. And I'm a little disappointed with the Glock magazine, but very happy to remedy it. I can't speak. Has a magazine issue. No problem with the pistol. The magazine's the problem. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Keep the comments coming. And I hope everybody has a great Happy New Year weekend. And like I said, I'm going to hope to have at least 3 to 4 videos up between shooting and doing some other work by Sunday. Good night, YouTube.